Welcome, everybody. Thank you again for spending this amazing October with me. We are sadly wrapping up the month, which I do not want to do because, well, I love October. I love the weather. I love everything about it. I love the leaves, the movies. Most importantly, I love the music. And we are here tonight at the Hookup on Music to have a good time and to keep pushing forward and sharing music with you. And we love when you share music with us. It's a great relationship that we have started here, and I do appreciate all of it because it makes the day better. It makes the day better always talking about music and always making the day better are new album releases. And just recently, if you have not yet, go back and check out the little couple minute snippet on the Rolling Stones new album, which is here. You can't believe it. They've already got this is their 26th American studio album release, and we've talked about it. Keith even sings a song on it. Don't really know much longer, how many more albums we got the Stones jamming, but it's a great album, really worth checking out. Also, really worth your time is the new Blink 182 album because it's not only worth your time, because it's one more time that they are back at it with a brand new album. If you have not yet, check out my main man, Svo. He's got his own article right there on the Penguin, the Sadistic Penguin um, web page. Really awesome article, really in-depth stuff about being a huge fan of Blink 182 and what it means for this brand new album coming out. This is their ninth studio album. Okay, it marks the return of Tom. He is back in the band, which we've talked about before on here. um, he departed in 2015. They made a couple albums without him. He's back, and this album is definitely one that is worth your time and your effort. I'm not gonna lie, when you really listen to it and listen to the themes in it, um, brings a little bit of a tear to your eye because a lot of things had to happen for this band to get back together and make an album, and I think they made a good one. I'm not gonna just say good. I think they made a great one. Being somebody who in the recent years has maybe been a little negative on Blink 182, maybe I'm glad I was a little negative because what it makes me feel like is what a fool I was because they're a band that a lot of people love and a lot of people enjoy. And having Mark, Tom, you know, to back together again with Travis making great music is definitely something that we love here on the Hookup on Music. We love stories, good stories, and there's a lot of them in these tracks. Okay, in the article described by Spo, he goes in depth on a lot of awesome stuff, but definitely worth your time and worth checking out. Um, just like a lot of people headed down to the When We Were Young festival, which Blink 182 played at just this weekend in Las Vegas. Heard a lot of positives. The stage setup, everything looked really cool. As you can see and hear, everyone from Green Day, who are supposedly releasing new music, and they got a tour themselves going to be announcing this week. We'll probably talk about later. But just an overall great performance. This was the third incarnation of this. The first one took place in California. They moved it last year to the Las Vegas Festival grounds, and this is the second year there. If you're looking for a punk type of revival from the 90s, 2000s, they got everyone on this list at this concert from, The Offspring to Yellow Card to Sum 41 to 30 Seconds to Mars, just Phoenix, Texas. You could go on and on and on. The Academy is MXPX, Motion City Soundtrack. A really good time. It's 2 days. Okay. And by all indications, both dates are it's not like you get different bands on each date. It's both dates are both bands. I mean the same bands on both days. Last week we talked about how they're having a lot of different music out at this festival grounds. Last week I think we talked about the Sick New World festival that is coming. Really awesome that they're putting these festivals together so that you can go out there and see a lot of good music, and there was a lot of it had. A lot of it definitely was had. You what's the word I'm looking for? When you're going to see Green Day and they play a 24 song set, 7, 4 songs, some Dookie, American Idiot, of course, a lot of songs from there. Um, Not so much off of Kerplunk, only one off of Kerplunk, but at the When We Were Young festival, you're definitely there to see a lot of different bands, and I'm sure a lot of people were happy as all the indications were had. New music. It's why we're here. Thank you so much for always tuning into when we talk about new music, when we talk about old music, and when we talk about all different kinds of music. The first artist I want you to check out if you definitely get a chance, it's Mitski. Been around, album's been coming out since 2012. The newest album, really, really good stuff. The Land is Inhospitable, and so are we. Really good. Laurel Hell is really good before that. The first album she released was Lush. Really, really, really good stuff. Puts you in a lot of different moods, a lot of different feelings, which is well what music is and what we want it to be when it is inhabitable in our life. So check out Mitski if you definitely get a chance. Um, Starting to come up a little bit here, a little bit there. Also check out this Knuckle Puck. They're from Chicago, okay, which is well, I won't say Chicago because if you sometimes you get you what's the word I'm looking for? You get say Chicago, but they're on the outskirts of Chicago. Um, Honestly, really awesome band. A lot of good stuff here. Um, 4 albums, a newest one, Losing What We Love, definitely worth checking out. Um, Again, it kind of fits more into that When We Were Young festival, that punk, a little bit of a revival, I guess you can say, because it does throw back, but overall, really, really good stuff. I've checked out a couple of their videos, um, which was a good idea because they were fun. Um, the name comes from the shot in ice hockey. It was made popular in D2 with the Mighty Ducks. If you were curious about that, and the third band, since we are talking about scary and Halloween and different kind of spookies and this is and that, is this band called Motionless and White. Okay, we had our concert man out on the scene, and he had just checked out these guys in the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago, and by checking out his music, his videos he sent me, they seem pretty scary. And what was really scary about them is that they got some kind of they got makeup going on, some spooky kind of makeup going on. If you're watching it on the screen, but heavy. On Roadrunner Records, different octaves of vocals. Um, Good stuff. I mean, packed show, mosh pits galore. Um, 6 albums. Newest one, Scoring the End of the World, is what they are currently touring on. But good stuff. We're checking out. Um, Always, like I said, we're checking out good music. Always, we're dropping the needle. Because all bands that we talk about here, old and new, they're on vinyl. I do see that they are selling cassette tapes again, which is unusual because a while ago I was told that cassette tapes are no more. But definitely awesome stuff. Just like where we find ourselves here, we're crossing towards the end of our amazing Halloween journey. Um, we may be able to squeeze one more in here. We're gonna have to see. It could be a surprise. We will wait. But tonight, where would we be if we could not talk about a band which just literally has um, Halloween right in the title? Great stuff. That's Muzzle. If it's been a long time, if you've heard that one, but the Smashing Pumpkins, um, I just think they got one of the coolest names ever. Formed in 1988. Um, great stuff. A very eclectic sounds too. I remember from when they started compared to some of their contemporaries. Their sounds range everywhere from can get pretty heavy. There's the grunge, there's some psychedelic, there's progressive, there's a little electronica as they keep going on and going forward. But overall, just a band that is needed to have been around, and they're from Chicago. Another band from Chicago, like Knuckle Puck. So you're saying to yourself, okay, Smashing Pumpkins. Um, where would you say that their highlights would be? Well, their highlights are a lot. Okay, we can be here forever talking about a lot of their highlights. Starting out of their gate with Gish is definitely an album that is if you're used to hearing maybe some of the more slower tracks, Gish is definitely what I would like to say is would be the opposite. Heavy riffs like Zeppelin and Sabbath, but also a little bit of grace, like My Bloody Valentine, a little bit of The Cure. Billy Corgan's got a vocal style that, well, it could not be for everybody. It could be for some. It all really depends on what your style and what your preference is. But the one thing about them is that they're still making music, and rumors are afloat that they're going to be part of that Green Day tour I was talking about earlier. That Green Day will be announcing coming up this week. Hopefully, there's a Chicago day. I wonder a Chicago day. I hope that there is a Chicago day and a Chicago date because definitely seeing the Pumpkins is something that I have never done and I would like to do. They've come through a couple times. Um, but Gish is a good place to get started. Of course, Siamese Dream is where the rocket eventually takes off, and which is crazy because there's a song on that album called Rocket. Okay, there's also a song on that album called Mayonnaise. A lot of awesome title tracks on that Siamese Dream album. But the album was a lot of tensions, a lot of fighting going on in the backstage of this recording session. But it's considered unique compared to some of the other releases of its time. It does not sound like Nirvana. It does not sound like Soundgarden. It definitely does not sound like Pearl Jam. It sounds like the Smashing Pumpkins. Um, I've always been a huge fan, and as I get older, I think I become more and more and more a fan. As I was younger, I heard a lot of negativities, especially coming from Billy Corgan's voice. Called it whiny, but definitely not what I would deem to be a fair assumption. Because if you listen to a lot of bands in different time periods, you can make that argument, and it wouldn't stand. Because definitely, the Pumpkins are a band that have been around for a while. Pumpkins have had their ups. They've also had their downs. Okay. Their ups being, of course, after Siamese Dream, the double album Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. Huge, 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 huge. Honestly, to their downs being something like 2000's Machina and the Machines of God. Not what I would deem to be their greatest release. Still some okay tracks. Remember the release of the Everlasting Gaze. But having them come back um, in a lot of different reasons has been awesome because they broke up. There was in 2000 they said kaput. We're not going to do anything anymore. In 2006 they got back, which is awesome because you what's the word I'm looking for? You definitely want to always bring um the band back together. And James Eha, original guitar player, came back in 2016. But overall, I think the title of the band fits them. It fits their music. It's huge. It's big. Their sound is big and it's huge. If you get a chance, check them out. I definitely would in this world because a world without seeing the Smashing Pumpkins, just from what I've heard, is a world that you definitely don't want to be in. So go check out the Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, check out any one of their albums because even some of the ones that maybe are lesser known still got some pretty good stuff on it. Honestly, um, and that's honestly what I've been doing recently. Every album that's come out recently, they've uh, the Sire album, CYR, was definitely an interesting exercise in music. Um, but check it out. You may like something. Adore was their electronic when they Jimmy Chamberlain had to leave the band because of unfortunate um, personal problems. But check it all out. You know, just like here we are. How often are you going to go from Smashing Pumpkins to a little bit of King Diamond, the King Diamond, aka Kim Bendix Peterson, um, a Danish rock musician, was the lead singer of the great King Merciful Fate, which again, awesome, awesome, and still around, still touring. Merciful Fate is. Merciful Fate only had 2 albums in their initial, run, which was from '81 to '85, okay? Great album covers, metal, 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 metal. The vocal octaves in this band, go really, really high. Mr. Diamond can sure the, hit the tones. I like the name of their albums, okay? Merciful Fate had an album called Melissa, which is very interesting if you check it out because the album's really scary. It's called Melissa. The one that you're currently seeing on the screen is called Abigail. Gives a really kind of a scary, ominous sky. But King Diamond is definitely Halloween music. Um, Definitely a lot of the bands that are around right now grow a lot of inspiration, I would say, from him. Um, I think I think in the '80s they were doing some different things that were not being done by other metal bands. As said before, his falsetto vocals are reach heights that don't really you know, you don't see it very often. Inspirational to bands, everyone from Metallica, who have covered some songs, to Cradle of Filth. But overall, a band that needs to be recognized, especially during Halloween season. Checking out '87's Abigail would be a really, really great story, a really great start, because it tells the story um, who pretty much move to a mansion, and believe it or not, what is inhibiting the mansion? Ghosts. And King Diamond is definitely a scary, scary, scary figure. Cool, cool, cool microphone stand. It's like a cross. Ghouls on the stage. If you get a chance again to check out either Merciful Fate or King Diamond, you will not be disappointed, because those acts together shaped some really, really great heavy metal years in the in the days, and like Motion, um Listen White. Also, Abigail appears on the Roadrunner record label, which is huge. Was a huge metal album, kind of like a vault for some of the greatest releases in my late '90s, middle '90s heavy metal listening career. Everyone from Sepultura, Machine Head, and Fear Factory, who just recently announced that they're going to be doing a tour together. But I would definitely, what's the word is? I would say I would definitely check that out. Okay, that's that muzzle again. That's sneaking up on us. Check out that muzzle. Check out that Merciful Fate. Check out ACDC in this Halloween a band singing about hell. Hell ain't a bad place to be. Hell's bells. Okay, Highway to Hell. Um, I would say is definitely good Halloween time music. The album cover for Highway to Hell, you have Angus Young as a devil. Definitely scary stuff. Um, Last track on Highway to Hell, Night Prowler. That's ooh, that's singing about some really, really scary stuff, some real scary stuff, being that it has to do with a real killer that existed, the Night Stalker. Um, but definitely AC/DC is a great way to start. Um, go back to Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. When I was thinking about all of this, I was thinking about when I owned Let There Be Rock, which is a great AC/DC album, which is it's showing what I would say a down and dirty side of the band, in doesn't become as polished as they are on Back in Black, which is a great album, great record. But again, um, really worth your time is that because, well, it's Halloween time, and it's Halloween time, and like every single Halloween time, okay, um, Fish do these Halloween shows that if you could get a chance to listen to them on record, really awesome. Just like it's awesome. They got a song called AC/DC Bag. Um, very cool stuff. But the Fish Halloween shows are legendary. Right there was a little bit of Cross-Eyed and Painless, okay? Um, covered a lot of different albums. They've covered, that was, of course, Cross-Eyed and Painless from the Talking Heads, in which they went and sat down and they were like, "You know what? In 1996 for Halloween, let's cover Remain in Light," which is what they started to doing on every Halloween in which they were touring. In '94, they did the White Album, okay? In '95, they did Quadrophenia, okay? In '96, like I said, Remain in Light. In '98, they did the Velvet Revolver's Loaded. 2009, they did The Stones, Exile on Main Street, a great album. Um, really awesome. Did Waiting for Columbus one year, Wingsuit. Um, just just great, deep stuff that they do. And just recently on their shows that were in town, they covered a couple of these songs. They covered that Cross-Eyed and Painless. But I always deemed it to be cool when bands on Halloween will sit there and they will change themselves and they'll get funky. I always think if I was in a band, what songs would I cover? Definitely would do a Halloween show. Definitely would be doing different songs and making them my own. Um, always cool. It's always what Fish has been known to do, making that funk go. Um, not quite as funky, but always as scary as some songs that appear in scary movies, like this one that appeared in, well, The Exorcist. Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield is definitely a spooky tune. And definitely, if you've ever seen The Exorcist and you see its placement in there, definitely, well, definitely scary. Um, he was only 19 when he recorded this song, and he played almost all the instruments. And of course, the song got attention because of The Exorcist, but just really cool that a song like this can be made and then placed in a movie to showcase more scariness into the film that you wouldn't think would be there. Like the song was created, but it wasn't created for The Exorcist. It was created, well, because he wanted to create it. And then it's placed in The Exorcist, and then it all of a sudden becomes kind of cool, kind of relatable. Um, Kind of weird in its own way too, because you're saying to yourself, um, this is stuck in my head, and I'm always curious. I'll have to read some reviews to just see at the time of what his feelings were for that, because he played guitar and he played all these other instruments, but to be known for this release to be his main thing that he is known for is just, I find it to be pretty crazy and pretty also amazing in the same sentence, because to be known for to be known for anything, but then to be known for it to be part of its own horror icon film, it always just kind of it blows it it blows my mind really. You know, all the things that we talk about here really blow my mind. Um, because the reason they blow my mind is because you if we didn't do this show or we didn't like I didn't think about some of this stuff, would we ever find out about it? You know, one of the things that early scared me in my life um was the Shining soundtrack. That beginning just really scary stuff. Um, the main it was performed by Wendy Carlos and Rachel Elkind. It's based on the dream of a witch's Sabbath from the Sympathy Fantastique by Hector Berlioz and the traditional Requiem Dies Irae. Really scary. I remember turning the movie off when I first heard it because it scared me so much. The movie continues with just a scary overall atmospheric soundtrack that it really, um, I think it's really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Amazing in its own way because it's different, you know, and that's what we like. We like that different. We like you know, here we always want to break down some different stuff. We want to break down different scary stuff. We just want to be all around spooky, and that's why like John Carpenter's Halloween 3, the keyboard uses on I can't really know if it's keyboard or if it's synthesizer, I guess I should say. Um Synthesizer drops throughout horror movies are some of the really great, I think, staples of a lot of the genre personally. And I think as you go along and you listen to a lot of horror movies soundtracks, you're going to hear a lot of cool synthesizer. And Halloween 3 um, definitely doesn't hold back. It's cool. John Carpenter does the music when he does not direct it. Kind of a little bit well unique in that way. I don't know how many times in this world you're going to sit there and get the you're going to get the person um, working on it. Okay, that isn't really the director. Um, but it's the style, you know, it's the style. You know, Carpenter replaced the familiar 5/4 piano melody with an electronic theme. Halloween 3 is going electronic. Definitely, definitely good stuff if you have not sat down and listened to that. Um, Also good stuff is the Near Dark soundtrack. Tangerine Dream. If you have not sat and listened to Tangerine Dream, okay, they were a German electronic music band, formed in '67 by Edgar Froese. Please sit down and please do that. Part of a lot of great movie soundtracks. Um, just really worth it. Worth your time. I can't say enough everything that's worth your time to do, but if you could just take the time to think about all the movies that they were a part of Tangerine Dream, the Sorcerer soundtrack, the Thief soundtrack, really good. Firestarter, 3 o'clock High, talked about that before. Um, Near Dark, great movie if you have not checked out Near Dark. It's got my man Bill Paxton in it. Anything with Bill Paxton is awesome, but Tangerine Dream using that scary, spooky synth that just really showcases, you know, I think gives you the horror theme that you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Had a really great time just talking about the Pumpkins, talking about ACDC and Hell, talking about Fish and the Halloween shows. Great sharing, you know, the new Rolling Stones album. My thoughts. Awesome. Please go and read that awesome article by my man's foe. Blink 182 are back and they got a new show, a new concert. But I said a new show, a new concert, a new album. They're gonna have all of it because I think that they're gonna be coming back to town again. Check us out on the Hookup on Music, on the Twitter, on the Instagram. Check us out on the Penguin Sadistic Twitter. Check us out on the Sadistic Penguin Studios YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Also, really, 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 really appreciate everybody reaching out and being a part of this. Love sharing everything. Check out those. Still got time to check out all those cool 31 days of Halloween videos. But until next time, I want everyone to have a good rest of your week. And you may just hear us right before Halloween. We'll have to wait and see. But until that time, everybody, keep on rocking, keep on listening to good tunes. Take care.